in a family of elite combat athletes and top-tier performers. The final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss, there wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Anawa'i Fatu Maivia wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the sacred blood bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Maivia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary High Chief Peter Maivia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele. You will settle this score once and forever, and showcase the overwhelming strength of Peter Maivia, which has ever since remained as a hallmark for every single solitary member of this bloodline. Steele is no easy battle, though. He thrives in the chaos, one of pro wrestling's true madmen. He'll even try to eat part of the ring if he thinks it'll help him break you down. So do your best and honor High Chief Peter Maivia properly with a resounding victory.
Uh-oh, somebody call the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George the Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage can contain this man.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds,
Maivia because Maivia is a true brawler. Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the High Chief is ready.
Maivia carrying such pride into the ring.
Very stark contrast to Steele. We'll see which prevails tonight.
Steel cage match underway. Peter Maivia versus George the Animal Steele. Most of the matches between Peter Maivia and George Steele have ended inconclusively, but this time we'll have a winner.
These are two very different men, Cole. The High Chief is a man of great pride and respect for the ring, while Steele is, well, he's an animal. I can't think of two opponents with more opposing styles.
You said it, Corey. Let's just hope this one gets taken care of in the ring tonight.
Headbutt! Nothing fancy there.
George the Animal Steele might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost a match by countout to the High Chief.
In Steele's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly, or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage. Well, Maivia is called the High Chief in part because of his commanding presence in the ring. He's more than ready for what the animal will throw at him, even inside a cage. Down to bonus, and a double axe handle smash.
Momentum is all with Maivia now.
And you can see Steele is struggling to weather the storm with the High Chief.
We've seen that Steele has been above using a foreign object to gain the edge against Maivia. So he's got to have the advantage in a match where they're surrounded by one huge weapon, right?
Well, you'd think that, Cole, but think about how these men prepared for this match. The High Chief is a consummate professional who's game planned for this stipulation. And Steele, well, I think he just shows up to the arena and asks who he's fighting.
The High Chief Peter Maivia really making a name for himself in WWE, but he's had plenty of experience on the way up.
Plenty of championships on the West Coast, but he's made the biggest splash in Hawaii, where he earned multiple tag team titles. Oh yeah, Maivia is a huge celebrity on the islands. In fact, I've heard some consider him the personification of Maui.
Firing with a straight shot there, answering back. Mistake made by Steele.
So much pride, so much resiliency on display.
Big shots being fired right now. Neither competitor letting up.
Toe-to-toe, treating each other like heavy bags. Headbutt, nothing fancy there. Ow! Maivia just dominated the animal with that one. Just a nasty headbutt. Well, George has certainly seen better days.
Whoa. Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia is very close to the Anawa'i family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan. When you add on the fact that Maivia was born and raised in Samoa, you can see the great pride he has for that land and its people in the tribal ink that covers his body. Slam.
Peter Maivia is looking unstoppable now.
Yeah, and Maivia has really figured the animal out here. What a headbutt. The animal may be wounded prey at this point. The High Chief closing in on a success. Nice takedown, stacked for the pin. Hold on.
Trying to stick. Why on earth would he give up the pin?
He's got bad intentions. He's slow to get up and unaware of the massive target on his back. Boom, running FTO plants him. Nicely done. And looking to cause some damage by attacking the skull. He's looking to get back in this. This could be a good chance for Steele to get some distance and rethink things.
He's getting overrun by this onslaught of attacks.
Maivia is reaching that other level. Uh-oh, we know what's next. Talk about dismantling your opponent. Maivia can taste it now.
Goes for the pin. And the High Chief defeats the animal.
Here is your winner, High Chief Peter Maivia.
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally delivered a decisive victory for the High Chief, Peter Maivia.
George Steele is one tough animal, but the way Maivia faced him in the cage tonight just reinforced what everyone already knew, that the High Chief is one tough Samoan.